So welcome back to the series. This is episode 4 of the series, and today we're back at it once again. What if civilization restarted? Let's go. Let's just get into it. The first thing we're going to talk about is the exploration part. Obviously, the world has gotten more explored, and as more countries fill in the map, the faster it's going to get explored. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the Arabian Peninsula. This is... Oh, what the heck? Dude, are you kidding me? In the Arabian Peninsula, they began exploring like really fast. As you know, the last episode, they already did a lot of expansion into this Arabian desert, but they're going even faster. There's more people. I'd say right now the population of the world probably around 2 to 3 million, which is pretty high for this time. But anyways, they begin sending out scouts like this, and they begin like cutting off different areas. And eventually, they basically just explore all this, so we can just do that. Same over here, they explore all of that. And then up here, the red team begins putting a lot of money into this area. They haven't gotten into this area since they sent out these guys and they made that camp up here. That was like a while ago. They basically stopped, but now they are finally started up again, and it's actually going pretty well. The purple team is also sending scouts over here, and then the green team is exploring into the mountain ranges. And eventually it starts like winding down. They eventually figure out that this area is pretty small. Eventually they're able to narrow it down to like that. And that's what it looks like because the mountains are here, you know? So they can't really explore that yet. Over here in Europe, the teal team sends out some scouts like along this little mountain area. They eventually get over to whatever, like I think, is this like a bay? I think this is like some sort of bay. I'm not sure, but they start wrapping like around this bay area, wherever you want to call it. They also go down Spain's east coast and eventually reach over to like where Morocco is, and they land there. I mean, they kind of go down the African coast, and they start going across, areas like Morocco and Algeria. Eventually, they get over to Tunisia, and then they also explore down into Libya, and eventually they reach the Red Team. So the entire Mediterranean Ocean got explored, besides Cyprus. They don't know Cyprus exists yet. While we're near Europe, this French area, this west coast is explored too. And we're gonna have a new country. Now this is gonna be a little bit different. This is kind of what happened in the ATIS Pro series. So explorers from these guys, they send out some scouts. They begin going like upwards, and eventually they get lost somewhere around here. So they start they're making like huge like loops like this, and eventually they just don't know where they're going, and eventually they just land over here. So yeah, now we have people over here from these guys. So this there's an ethnicity map. Let's see. It'd probably be like something over. That's what. Okay, I think I might do some maps off camera, like ethnicity, religion, stuff like that. I think that would be pretty good. Also, I saw someone talk about capitals. I completely forgot that those exist. Never mind. Speaking of Ukraine, they eventually send out scouts to try to figure out where those guys went. And eventually they find their path and find like a camp abandoned here, and they think they just died. That's what they think happened. Can we get RIP Explorers? Even though they're over here. I mean, there's probably some dead people, like somewhere over here, but we ignore that. While we're over here, this area starts getting explored relatively slower than usual. Probably because the orange team can't launder money from the green team anymore, because the red team take over their government. So that's kind of like where they are right now, but they're still going pretty fast. They also start shooting out like this, like that. Kind of like the Silk Road, but it's not like that. It's like that. You get what I'm saying. And now we're going to start seeing this area get explored because, they start realizing that there's probably like some sort of huge, this is, okay, if So this white is the world like they know, but like let's like if this was like the world that they have like seen, obviously they don't see past mountains. Um, like if this is what they like know exists, so they know there's like some sort of like they think there's some sort of like huge landmass right here, and obviously who wouldn't want a huge landmass? Like I want some land. The red team starts exploring further into Iran. The only reason that this is going so slow is because of how many mountains are here. If you've ever gone into like Google Earth or like if you play Doodle Empires, you literally like you know that there's mountains right here, and they're like very difficult to get over. But anyways, the blue team sends some scouts through their colony thing or whatever. Pink team, oh they finally explored that piece. The pink team explores more into like the Indian subcontinent. So like they go down, they reach the tip, not that tip, not Diddy's tip. What I'm playing. But anyways, they go up India's east coast. Ugh, what the heck is wrong with my voice today? And they land over here like that. They also land down on whatever this island's called. I don't even know. Guys, just so you know, this is the most important island in the series. Remember that. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm probably going to forget that by next episode. But, you know, whatever. Okay, we're going to head back over to Africa because we haven't shown what happens here. The Nile is, like, getting very civilized right now, as you can, you can tell. They also start expanding further into mainland Africa, and they also go into Somalia, get to the Horn of Africa. It's so horny. Get my joke. Dude, I'm so funny. But anyways, they go around the tip of Africa, and they start going down the east coast. Yeah, they start going down the east coast, and they eventually get down right kind of like around here. What am I talking about? Like, obviously you can see it right there. What am I? But yeah, it looks something like this. So this is the world explore. Oh wait, hold on, I forgot this. They also very slowly expand into the Alps. Over here, once they get over here, this is gonna be like really fast because this is all like plains. But anyways, they also start exploring from the Balkans, as you can see with your eyes. But anyways, now that we have all of that, let's see what happens with our countries. So the first country is the red team. Obviously, the red team's like the most important country of the series, probably because it's the first country. But anyways, they start. They start exploring into farther into Africa, more into like Libya. They also start getting closer and eventually reach Tunisia. And they also explore and keep going down the Nile. They also start exploring down this coast. They basically try to rival with the blue team and take as much land, but eventually they get down here and like they're already getting like their government is getting pretty bombarded from like, getting down into areas that the blue team have already like so cuz there's blue team like villages here, they just didn't claim sovereignty. They kind of took that. That's something for them to worry about, but they don't care. The red team also starts exploring into the not exploring, taking over areas in the Arabian area, and it kind of looks something like that. There we go. And they kind of set up like a deal with this like dark red team because they kind of want to follow the same border. So it's gonna look something like that. So they're gonna get all of this, and then this dark red team is gonna get all of that. There we go. Same goes with the blue team. They just get all of this, and also while we're over in the blue team, they've also started basically like they've actually like officially set up because there was only like two like minor areas. Those weren't like actual like areas controlled by the government, but they were like sovereignty, if you know what I'm saying. I don't know. Freaking make lore. Anyways, they also start going past the Horn of Africa. They go kind of down until kind of like where the Somalia border ends, like right around here. They kind of stop, and then they also expand their little colony or whatever you want to call it, landing in like Iran and Pakistan. Going back to the red team, They have a lot. They first of all they explore into like Turkmenistan over here. Then they go into Iran pretty quickly. I mean, the red team is getting pretty big, as you can see. But anyways, they keep exploring into Iran, like something like that. They also start exploring into like more of Turkey, and then kind of like Syria and Iran. Yeah, they start exploring into Syria and Iran, not Iran, Iraq. Eventually, their border ends around that. Over in the purple team, knowing how unstable these guys are, they basically just take all the land next to them, and in exchange, these guys get like that. They also get like a little piece of land over here, but that's it. And in the purple team, they also begin to take over parts closer to the red team's border, because they've been like repairing relations with the red team. It's still pretty tense, but you know what I'm saying. They explore over to like Georgia, not like freaking the state. No, I'm talking about the country. Freaking American, freaking loser. They also explore their colony in Tunisia, and now they look something like that. Dang, I mean the purple team's cooking. Oh, I'm playing. The teal team, they just got a lot of land access, so why not use it? They hook up with their colony, not like with the, never mind. They hug the mountains, and then they get over here. I mean, they're kind of just like taking this over. They're not really taking it over. It's kind of like what the orange team did with these guys. This is kind of like one big puppet state now, but like, they still have like control over them and their government. They also set up a colony down here, and they also get down like to the Morocco, and now look at their like control. Holy. The Dark Sign team, they begin going up to the north part of the Balkans. I mean, any country in the Balkans realistically is gonna fall apart in like 5 days, but we just ignore that fact. They also get over to, oh, they just took some land. That was like something they gave. Okay, anyways, they start a trade route. Wait, should I do that? Hold on. I want to show you guys what the trade like areas would be. So it would like, okay, so the trade routes. Oh, the trade routes kind of go down here. They kind of follow mostly because they go down here. They split up right here. So kind of like this. This is what it's like right now. It goes out here, right there. It goes through here. You also have areas spreading off over here. And it goes down and over here. I think also they would have to do this one yet. They also go here. I think this would be able to cross over this way, and this connects there. And we also have one set through here. So this is what the trade map's looking like so far. Not really too filled in, but I'm kind of like in this. This is like a box, like a little box. That'll be on a different layer. We'll check back on that. Meanwhile, let's do the capitals right now. Why not? Alright, so let's get the trade maps back up. Red team's capital will probably be right around there. Blue team's capital right there. And this one is still right here. Maybe over here, I'm not sure, but it's over here, right there. The blue team, they still have theirs up here now. And the yellow team, I don't know where we're going to the yellow team. Right there. And sign team's over here, right there. These other republics, they don't have a capital yet. It's not going to work. There. There. I think all the countries on the map. And I'm one for this guy right here. That should have every capital. There we go. But also, we're about to get into this because we're gonna have a new country. So this is gonna be like it's kind of like an offshoot of this Ukraine one. So I want to make it some sort of different color. There we go. So these guys over here, they set up a new country. It's gonna be like this, like orange brown. Looks kind of like throw up and poop. What am I even talking about? Okay, never mind. We don't have a capital yet because they're stupid. And we're gonna have a war. We love wars, don't we? So the teal team, they kind of want to just finish off the yellow team. Let's be for real, they're already like really small, but that is like extremely against the contract they signed after this war. It's like you can't attack the yellow team in somewhat time, probably like 15-20 years. But who follows that stuff? The mustache guy did that in Germany, and it worked out well in the beginning. But anyways, they declare war on them and instantly take their capital. But guess what? Almost everyone in the world is against this. Just because they didn't follow it. The purple team, they're like, they want to liberate the yellow team. So they do go in and take it. But then the purple team actually starts going against the teal team. So it's basically just teal team versus purple team. But it wouldn't be right if someone didn't jump in. The dark green team declares war on the purple team. And this area they just got, so obviously they're not going to be able to hold it pretty well. And these guys are nearby, and they're stable. So, they also have really good morale. I mean, they're not using, what's that thing called? Conscriptions. Oh, I just completely butchered that name. But anyways, you know what I'm talking about. Their morale is pretty high. You have to voluntarily, be a soldier in order to actually go to the war. And then also their government's just really popular. Because I said that about last video about how they're, like cities are spread apart. They cater for the citizens more. But yeah, as you can see, it's basically purple versus teal versus dark green. Because dark green isn't on the same team as the teal team. They're like against them. It's like a three-way war all against each other. Except for the dark green team and the teal team aren't gonna fight. Unless they somehow get to the middle here. But that's impossible. So the purple team, they take back the yellow capital. And the yellow team just lets them take them over. Now, the purple team is way stronger than the teal team. They're only getting held back because of this over here. So they have to take some troops out in order to go over here. And they kind of fight back. But, I mean, these guys are way more loyal to the dark green team than they were to the purple team. And this has also allowed the teal team to get back their troops over here. And they start a siege on the capital. Because what's the purple team really good at doing? It's hitting them from behind. Now, of course, they're not gonna like land. It's like back and forth over here. You think, oh, they're gonna land on this island and then over here. No, that's not what they're gonna do. Why would they do that if they can just fund a rebellion? And now there is a rebellion over in Morocco, and eventually just like really quickly takes over all of this Morocco, Algeria, gets up into Spain. And then another rebellion begins. This time it's just like full on like Spain colony. Oh, we have someone else jumping in because obviously we're seeing a loser in this war, and we see two winners right here. But of course someone's gonna jump in. Oh, you guessed it. It was the orange team. Why wouldn't they take advantage of the green team being so distracted? That's what they think, and they go into the orange team. And they realized they were like very prepared for this. They knew. The reason they knew is because they had a spy over in like the capital. He was posing as one of the government officials, and he's been like secretly there for like 15 years. The orange team doesn't know that yet though. So they're like, why are these guys like so prepared? They also send troops over here. Nope, it's the same day. They knew that they were gonna attack from over here too. The green team takes advantage of this and goes right up like in here and begins invading into the strip. And eventually once they're cut off right here, like these guys are like, whoa, we did not expect that. But it gives just enough time to break through over here, and they get to the capital. But of course the green team breaks away from red team rule and begins invading the orange team. So this is basically like, wait, would this count? Yeah, this would be a world war technically, because it's both in Europe and in Asia. So yeah, this is technically a world war at this point, but it's not like an actual world war. It's not called that, it's just called a continent war. So they don't know that this is like one, they just think this is all attached to one continent, but okay. The orange team has to pull back, and green team is able to go in and re-establish the border, and then they also start going into their country. And eventually, this area over here is just given to their puppet state, just so it would be easier. But of course, the green team's gonna take advantage of that because it's gonna take a while for them to even get over there. So they just instantly like take most of that. And yeah, this war is not like this is basically where all the fighting is going on. Let's head back over here because the teal team is kind of losing this war pretty badly. The teal team was able to fight back a little bit and get like over here. This is kind of like their original border now. So, they're not completely losing. Oh, look at this. Like, the guys over here, like, wait, look how small this distance is. We could just, like, boom right through here and just get them. And what the purple team wasn't expecting it, but they instantly spearhead into this country. And they basically just collapse this country. Without the capital, these guys just completely collapse. And then they shoot down here. And, yeah, this is, like, Okay, look at the map right now. So let's see how many countries are at war. Technically, these guys are at war because these guys pieced out and gave them sovereignty. So that's kind of their borders. Yellow team, purple team. Yellow team still exists. Like they're like right here. But anyways, the yellow team, purple team, teal team, cyan team, dark green team, both orange teams, and a green team. The red team doesn't really want to get into all this. If they did, they would just like invade all of it. They don't want to do that because if they do that, their reputation's gonna like tank really badly. So they just kind of say all this. They kind of sanction some countries. They sanction the green team and sanction the teal team. You know, I mean, do they even know about sanctions yet? Probably not. But we're just gonna do. And eventually, the teal team's capital is captured, which basically means this war is over. So yeah, let's just look at the peace treaty. 3, 2, 1, boom! Oh wow. Alright, so a lot changed after this war. As you can see, the yellow team, they're cooking now. You know, they're back up on their feet. There's one thing you might notice here is this. So I didn't finish this because I wanted to show you guys what's going to happen here. So the teal team, they are given like this area. And they're kind of given this little thing or whatever this is, or, you know. It would probably actually be given over to the yellow teams. But anyways, the cyan team after this war, as you know, they completely got collapsed. So we're going to see this thing split apart. So the first country we're going to see is this in this top area. This area is filled with like farmers, and they've basically been against the government this entire time. But now that the government has completely collapsed, they thought it was the perfect time to do this. The next country is going to be this dark purplish pink team. They're kind of like an offshoot of this purple team, but they don't, like, the purple team's like, we don't know these guys. They have, like, completely different ethnicity and, you know, stuff like that. Next, we're going to have this gray team over here. These guys have been the most unstable part of the entire country. This is the area that, like, people thought was going to break away, and obviously, as you can see, it has now broken away. Yippee. Not yippee. Our final country to break away is this, like, light orange team. These guys are kind of like the reform government of the cyan team. They have, like, a better version of the government, and we could probably see them at, like, all of these guys unite into these guys, but not yet. For the light orange team, their capital's gonna be right here. The farmer area right down here. The purple team right here. And the gray team right here. For these guys down here, the Morocco country's here. This, the dark bluish purple is right here. And for this explorer group up here, their capital is right here. So yeah, now we have a divided, Balkan area because of the... Okay, let's be for real. I'm actually calling this the First World War. Yeah, this would be technically the First World War. I know I wasn't gonna, like, say that it was, but now that, like, I'm looking at this, like, this is how far the war spanned. So, right? It goes over here. It contains all this. It goes over here. I mean, this is like a world... Yeah, this would be a world war. So yeah, that's World War I in the scenario. Very, very early in the series. But this basically allows the age of exploration to kick off because every country now has a rivalry, which means that they all want to expand as fast as they can, which means that they're going to explore the world much faster than they already are, even though they're already going really fast, and, you know, things like that. But yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, freaking hit that subscribe button right now. And if you don't,
I'm gonna cream in your pants.
what? Who said that?